Hi, it's Dr. Jenny here, and today we're talking about beets. I know that so many of you have maybe eaten them or seen them, and I just want to talk about reasons why you might want to start including them in your diet. So first of all, beets are a great source of many vitamins: A, B, C, potassium, folate, magnesium. Great source of fiber, so a good way to keep those bowels moving and keep the colon cleaned out. That's good. They also have something in them called nitric oxide, or nitrates, and what that is what gives them that. It's that distinctive red color, and it's what helps the blood vessels dilate. So when you see that, some of the benefits of having a high nitrate food are things like lowered blood pressure. You've even seen these powders coming out, these beet um, beet juice powders and stuff like that, and that's what they're claiming is that they help relax blood vessels and lower blood pressure. They also help with the regulation of cholesterol, namely reducing cholesterol and triglyceride levels, while at the same time increasing the HDL levels, which are the what's you hear of as the good cholesterol, so to speak. And then another thing that I love about beets is they help with inflammation, and that is by virtue of a compound called betaine in there. And it's an amino acid that comes from uh, choline. It comes from the amino acid choline. I'm sorry, I said that wrong. And choline is what helps us boost acetylcholine, which is a neurotransmitter that helps with our memory and gut health and all kinds of different things. So, wow, these things are just really a big, huge winner in my opinion. A couple other things that beets are high in is the trimethylglycine, and that's a big fancy word, but basically it's a methyl donor, which is related to this really important process in your body called methylation. And there are just more and more studies showing that the importance of methylation as it involves detoxification, and even in people, that process is starting to show up as faulty in those people that end up with cancer and things like that. So what this trimethylglycine does is it ends up helping to boost your body's production of SAMe. If you've heard of that, that is again something that helps with the methylation process, and just think of that as very closely related to detoxification and getting rid of things that should not be in your body. Um, Also, in some cultures and even by scientific research, beets have been shown to have an aphrodisiac effect, and that is because they help stimulate blood flow. And if you stimulate blood flow to certain regions of your body, it increases libido. So eat up. And the compound boron is also part of that. It's a sex hormone. It helps with sex hormone production. So that's the connection with beets and libido. So let's talk about detoxification and blood sugar, and why beets might be important there. We have the ingredients in beets are help to reduce homocysteine levels, and homocysteine is a very nasty inflammatory compound that has been implicated in higher risks of stroke, heart disease, and even Alzheimer's. So that, long story short, it helps reduce that. It's by virtue of that methylation process, and its high folate content and whatnot. But that is, in my opinion, a huge benefit of beets as well. Also, an increase in energy levels and oxygen carrying capacity. Again, we talked a little bit about that with the nitrates, and that has a profound impact on your body's ability to carry more oxygen, which affects your brain health, your blood pressure, your energy levels, all of that stuff. So that's a big win in my opinion. So let's talk about how beets have got put on the nasty list in the keto world because they're high in carbohydrate. For example, a cup of beets will have about 12 net carbs. There's 16 carbs minus the 4 grams of fiber, so you end up with um, about 12 grams of net carbs, which that's about half a day's worth of carbs if you're following a keto diet. So if you're strictly on keto and you want the benefits of staying in ketosis, limit the beets to just a real small period of time when you're kind of cycling out. Maybe you do cyclical keto where you're 5 days on and 2 days off. And so you're 2 days off when you're eating maybe a little more carbohydrate. You can include things like beets and sweet potatoes and things that are healthy but a little bit higher in carbs. So that might be a good way to do it. Or, I follow a lot of the tenets of keto, but sometimes I will have things like beets that give me a little bit higher carbs, but I think in that case, the benefits outweigh the side effects of knocking yourself out of ketosis for that short amount of time. So that's just my thought on that. I'm going to be sharing some recipes and other things about beets as we go along because they're not all created equal. You want to definitely make sure you're getting an organic beet, and that is because they're genetically modified a lot of times to be higher in sugar because beet sugar, if you've ever heard of that's what they do with those genetically modified beets. So, if I were you, I would get the organic ones, and I would not buy them in a can. I'll show you how to avoid that later with a little recipe that I came up with. So, anyway, I hope you found that useful, and I hope you'll try some beets. Thank you.